That's everything I need. Alright, hello everybody. Here's to hoping I set everything up correctly. Because there is a chance I did not. I think that's everything. Oh, let's see. What is this? That's for, that's for when we were playing, Lethal Company. That's the thingamabobber. That's my webcam. Okay, I think we're good. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. I need to turn those back to locked. Give me a moment. Locked. On. Okay. Hello, everybody. It's been a while, but that's for good reason. It is finally... Oh, wait, my fan is going. Hang on, just a moment. Just a moment, everybody. Here we are. Okay, my voice should be hopefully a lot clearer now. I have turned my fan off, so we are balling. Hello, Gussie. Welcome to the stream. Okay, welcome back to Founding Stone's development. It has been a while since I have done anything like this. It's been, let's see. It's been about 2.5 months. Okay, so today I intend on working on badges. I don't know if I'm going to do all of it in this stream. Depends on how good things go. But I want to get started with it. Now here's the thing. I actually don't remember how to do badges because I haven't really done them much before, so we're going to watch a tutorial. Roblox badge tutorial. We'll use this one. Okay, get the ads out of the way. Just a moment. I'm getting a ton of ads, because it's YouTube in 2025. Okay. Let's work with this. Who is that? I don't know who that is. Whatever. Okay.
I'm going to share to make a welcome badge for your games on Roblox Studio, so when someone joins your game, they are rewarded a badge for joining the game. I'm going to go ahead and go to the
Let's see.
tab on the Roblox website. That's very simple.
Now, I know I could just reference my code in Infinity Classic. I just don't feel like it, and I also don't think that was the most efficient way to do that. So we're gonna see this, and maybe it'll have a better input.
Dashboard. Once you get to there, okay, and after that, you're gonna want to go ahead and go to your creations, either your game, create a badge. We're gonna say
yada yada. I know how to create a badge.
1,000 votes, so that means you know toolbox badge. Go ahead and change that. But this shit look nasty as fuck.
Okay, so there is... Okay, so that is arguably even worse code than what I have done. Here, let me open up Infinity Classic and we'll take a look at that. Right here. Let me pull up the API for badges on my second monitor. Just a moment. Badge service. We'll read through that if we need to. Okay, Let me just find like one of the random badges. Secret room 1, that should work. Okay. Get badge info async. Award badge. Badge service, user ID, badge ID. I actually think this is probably a lot better. All right, well, for now, let's look through this. To the stream. I don't know who you are, but welcome. We are currently looking into how to mess around with badges, because I haven't messed around with them in a long time, and so I want to try and add some to my game. Creates an award badge function. Is this literally just like, this is very similar to what I was... Okay, collision filtering. Check if they own a specific badge, useful for creating restricted area with collision filtering. It works with get badge info async is enabled. Okay, checking badges in batches. Okay, whatever, I don't care. Award badge to a player given the ID of each. Okay, what about award badge? Does this need grants a player with the badge user ID badge rate limit 50 plus 35 times number of users per minute in order to succeed. What? That's such a specific number. Okay, they must be connected to the game. They must not already have the badge. A player may delete and award a badge from their profile. The badge must be awarded from a server-side script or a module eventually required by a script, not from a local script. Badge must be awarded in a place that is... Yep, okay. Badge must be enabled. So will this error otherwise, or what? It doesn't say what it does if these aren't right. I guess let's just, let's do a little test here. I'm going to create a part for testing purposes. And we're going to give a click detector and then a script. And then do script.parent. Is it mouse click, connect function, player. We need a badge actually, so let's make a badge real quick. Let's see. Where are those at? Secrets? No. I need to be careful with what I click here, I think. Passes? No. Although there are some passes. Subscriptions, overview, monetization, audience, engagement, badges. There we go. I haven't created any, but we're going to create some. Can I delete these? I really hope I can. We're going to name it test badge. And we'll give it a random image. Let's see. What do we want to give it? Let me take that off of my main monitor just in case there's spoilers of any sort. We'll give it that icon. Sure, why not? First 5 badge creations per experience in a 24-hour period are free. Ooh, okay, so we can only create 5 today. But that's fine. That means I can set up the code in advance. The code should be, like, repeatable, really. It's not a huge deal. Or, like, it should just be, I need to set up the code and then we're good. So, maybe I should actually turn this into a different, like, turn this into an actual badge. Whatever, it's not a huge deal. So we have a badge now. Can I configure it? Can I, like, change the settings and stuff? Okay, I can change that. I can change the name and I can change the description. Good, good, good. So I can just reuse this when I'm done with it. Okay, so let's do some testing. Let me grab the ID from this. And we're going to go to founding testers, local badge service is equal to game get service badge service, and then we'll do badge ID is equal to that. And we do badge service award badge, and then it is player.user ID and then badge ID. Now this should just try to give it no matter what. If I'm right, I think I am. Now what we're testing here, I'm going through my thought process here so that way everybody stays up to beat with what I'm doing, because I realize I don't always say what I'm doing, and so it might not seem obvious. Right now, I'm just testing to see if this function here, if I just use this flat out right, will this error if I already have the badge? So we have getting badge here, and then print that thing been got. So the goal is hopefully this will print even after. So if I join the game, give it a minute, there we go. And then I swap over here, grab this, and I need to find where we are, because I do not know. Where did we spawn? Right here. Move this over to here, and swap back. Now, getting badge, that thing been got. Yippee! Alright. So that's the badge acquired. Now, let me check my profile. I should have it on here. Maybe. It might take a second to show up. Let me check Infinity Classic. What does this say? Right, this uses like this whole thing. I don't know why. Okay, well, it's printing no matter what. So it's just a question of, did I actually get the badge? It's not looking like I did. So let's go back to here. It must be presently, the player must be connected to the game, must not already have the badge, must be awarded from a server-side script, awarded in a place that is of the badge, yada yada, and it must be enabled. That's probably why it's not doing anything. So if I come to here, basic settings, and enable it, which is going to look a little stupid. It's going to be on the page for a little bit, don't worry about it. Let me reset. Okay, I think we are... Okay, we're on the forest side, so let me grab this, and let's go hunting. It said mist, so I think we're around this area somewhere. Because this is indeed mist. Aha, there we are. Set this down there. Now let's test it out. Aha, there it is. That's what I could have sworn that there was a menu like this. So yes, there is a badge ID there. Okay, so it does already check. It does say we already gave it out, but it does still print. That is what I was testing for. So it doesn't stop the code outright, which is what I was hoping for. So as far as I can tell, all of this excess stuff is not really necessary. Because if the badge isn't enabled, it doesn't do anything. I imagine this is probably for like bug fixing. This is a function that you use for extra stuff just in case. But you really don't need to use it like that, I don't imagine. Okay, good to know. So now, when I come to my inventory, Ta-da! Test badge. Okay, and I believe it even should be on like the main page of the game right now. I didn't mean to click that. Sorry, turtle. Yep, there it is. Let me turn that off now. Okay. And I'm going to delete that from my inventory so that way we can test more in the future. Because in case you didn't know, you can delete badges from your game. Okay, so we have that down. Now, here's the thing. We need to create... I have an agenda of badges that I want to make. So there is badges for acquiring each profession, and then there is badges for mastering each profession. And that's what I want to focus on right now. Now, the thing is, there's a couple things with this. One, I need to determine how I want the visuals of those badges to look. And then I need to code actually doing it. So let me... Trying to think of how I should handle this, like if I should make it its own module or not. God, I really need to sort these into more folders. This is so messy. I'll do that some other day, though. Well, we'll go ahead and do it, actually. Player. Modules. Thank you, I am normal too, for following. I hope you are normal. I have had way too many bad experiences with people who are not normal. But that's fine. Alright. Module script. So we're not going to move all of them over right now, but I'm going to start these folders so that way I can sort myself in the future. Don't worry about it, I ain't. Okay, so we'll name this badge module. Or badge modules, just in case. And then we are going to go ahead and create a few more folders as well. So there's cutscenes, players, non-player modules. We're going to create map modules that'll have things like the map module, weather module, stuff like that. Stun and stat will go into player, server will go into well, server will probably just stay there, honestly. Same with miscellaneous. Item. Let's see, we'll name this one game modules, actually. And that'll have, like, AI and items. Combat. Well, combat might go under player, but you get the idea. It's just going to be stuff like that. Okay, so. Now, I need to make a... hello, Normo7, welcome to the stream. I need to make a table for mastery badges and obtainment badges. So let's do profession badges. We'll open this up and we will say, let's start with farmer will be equal to a table, and then we'll in the table we'll have obtainment and mastery. Now, for the sake of testing, we're going to just give this the same badge. Well, we'll create a second badge, actually. Just real quick. Mastery test, and I'll give it a new GUI of some sort. We'll give it this detail, why not? We'll disable the badge. Okay, and then we'll copy this ID here. And we'll put that in there. Okay, so we have this now. Now, obviously, this is not, like, very whatever. This one we'll name Duke/Duchess. We'll go ahead and put them all in brackets just for the sake of it. We'll name this one Nobles. And then we'll do a break here and have this one be Archbishop and Priest. And then this will be the base Commonwealth professions. But we're not going to do all of them right now. We're just going to set this up at the base level so that way I can do things. I started recording for some reason. Let me turn that off. Okay, now we need to do module.check attainment prof is equal to function player profession. Okay. And we'll have this be at the very end. So profession is going to be a string, and then player will be that. So if not player or not profession, then return end. Return false. Local gotten will be equal to that. And then we'll print this and gotten. I want to test to see if it will print true, like return true or false. So let's test that out real quick. God, I really wish it would stop bugging out like that. Okay. Erm. Where did I spawn? It was somewhere in the forest, I think. Yes, yes. Yeah, right there. Sweet. Nice and close. Okay, so right now with the badge being off, it says false. Okay. Now if I were to go over to here, turn on the test badge. Okay. And then click it. That thing then got true. Yippee! Now if I click it again, will it return true because I already have it? No, it returns false. Good. Okay, so yeah, I don't see why people do all these safety checks. Because there's literally no reason as far as I can tell. I mean, okay, I know there are a lot of really paranoid developers. There are some who won't even like reference players or a basic surface without without doing like game get surface, which is really obtuse. And I mean, there's probably good reasons for it, but I'm not a good enough developer to know, so it's whatever. I don't care. Okay, so now we do local attainment ID is equal to, or well, let's do local badge table is equal to profession badges profession, and then if not badge table, then return false end. Local obtainment ID is equal to badge table obtainment, and then if not obtainment ID, then return false end. Yada yada. Check to find the badge ID. Okay, and now we do local player prop is equal to player.data.details.profession, and then we do if player prop.value is equal to profession, then award badge here. Local, okay, hang on, actually, let's get rid of that. Come up here. Storage.rs, local badge service is equal to game get service badge. Oh yeah, badge service. Okay, and now we do badge service award badge player.user ID and obtainment ID. Okay. And then we do check is equal to that, and then return check. Otherwise, return false. Okay. Erm. So with that done, I can now reference this in the profession module here and hope that I don't spoil anything. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of like old scrapped stuff in here that I really need to clean up, but it's fine. Is it change profession? God, there's so much random stuff in here. Okay, so I think this is where it's supposed to go. Rank panel. I smell like food. That's gonna get me hungry. Oh well. Profession panels. Okay, so that's for the... Yeah, that's for the GUI. So now I need to do... Come up here. Local badge. Module... Fire. Okay, the module is stop. Player modules dot badge modules. Okay. And then we come over to here, all the way down to here, and then we do local attainment badge is equal to badge modules dot check attainment profession player, and then did it give me a profession string? It did. Good. All right, there we go. Do I want Duke to be included in that? Probably not. Ugh, that's a little annoying. Okay, let me open up attempt prof change. Because this one is specifically the old Duke right here. Okay, yeah, let me move this out of here, actually, into this function here, because I would rather not have becoming Duke through the old Duke. I would rather that not give this, you know? What is context? That's these. Replace Duke. Do I want to have the badge for becoming Duke be restricted to specifically unbound Duke, or do I want that to be any kind of Duke? I feel like I don't want it to be old Duke, because then it becomes way too easy. But there is replacing Duke for a player-founded city, which still costs 1 silver. I think I want to make that... I think I want to make it specifically checked. So ignore achievement is equal to replace Duke. So now we do if not table.find ignore achievements context, then okay. So now if it is a context of gaining a profession that is not one that I deem not good enough, then it will attempt to give me the badge. Yippee doodah. Alright, so now let me make sure I don't have the badge in my inventory right now. Close that out. Okay, it is not there, so if I come to test badge here, turn this on, and then we hop into the game. Okay, so me coming over here and grabbing this should not give me that badge. Yep. Now, if I were to come over to here, create a farmhouse. Let me toggle test, actually. Which will make it so that way I only need 1 rock. So let me do that. Do this. Now, I need 6 copper and 1 plow. If I give myself 6 copper and a plow, then I can become this, and I get the badge. Yippee! That's what we needed. So now, literally just obtaining a profession will give a badge like that. So that's good. Now I would like Bleh. Sorry, trying to think. I'd like to hope that regaining the profession will not error anything, but we'll see. Also, hello, Luck Stereo. Welcome to the stream. We are working on badges for the game. Okay, respawn. Give myself more coins again. Here we go. Huh? That. Okay, well that's something broken in the player GUI. Oh, what's going on with Duke and Duchess up there? Oh, that's not good. Here, let me reclaim this. Okay, so it did still give me that. And it did print that it already gave out that badge. But it's not a huge deal. The prints will kind of clog up my screen a little bit if I ever need to check the dev console, but it's not a huge deal, really. It really isn't. Okay, so what's up with that? Hang on. Turn on that. Why does that not have its thing anymore? Hang on. What happened to its outline? Fade frame, main list. Duke Duchess. What's up with this thing? Why is it not showing? What the hell? Every badge obtainment on stream. I mean, okay, we're probably not even really going to get to the mastery badges this stream. I mean, we might for a couple, but like it's going to be just the simple ones. Because there's like tailor and blacksmith and leather worker and those, which are literally just probably going to be like make one of every item from that profession. Those won't be too hard or anything. But there may be some like special requirements for other ones, like maybe planting a certain amount of crops for farmer, or extra like little challenges like that, depending on what I do. It's not gonna be like a huge secret or anything. It's just kind of whatever. All right, why is this bugging out? Hang on. Don't tell me like the image got moderated or some bullshit. Why is it not showing up? Will it show up if I do a different one like this? Yeah. Don't tell me they moderated my image asset. Hang on, why is that not? Is that working in? Is it working in game right now? Okay, I don't want to run the chance of spoiling anything in case I have any decals I don't want y'all seeing. So give me a second while I check this out. Decals, IGY. Those are from Steam. Those don't exist anymore. Like those, that's not where those go anymore. I forgot. Dashboard. Development items. Images. They're all still there. I really don't know why it's not showing right now. That's kind of annoying. Here, let's join the game right now and see if there's anything going on. 31 people playing, by the way. Nice. Okay. Okay, it's working on here, so I guess it's maybe just Studio that's messing up right now. That's whatever. Yeah, it's just Studio that's messing up right now, I guess. Look at this guy, he's got a treadmill. Well, there's a heat wave here right now. Okay, so these Earth sect players are just doing whatever the fuck they want. Where's their church at? Sorry, I'm a little curious of this city now. Is there not another church in this anywhere? Oh, there it is. Okay. Hello, Banana Baguette. Welcome to the stream, and thank you for following. The core sect of Earth. Yeah, these are all real people. And welcome to the stream. John Founding Stones. Yeah, this is my game Founding Stones, for anybody who is new here and didn't come from the Discord somehow. This is my game Founding Stones. I was just coming to see if this, like, banner here... Oh, y'all can't really see it because it's covered by my stream overlay, but there's a banner here for one of the things, like this blue one here, but for this up here. And it's not showing in Studio right now, and so I was worried that it got, like, the asset got moderated or something. Thankfully, doesn't look like it. Anyways, these cities are actually looking pretty good right now. They had a good duke, whoever set this place up. Well, maybe not for right here. They put the blacksmith's doorway right in the backyard of the restaurant, but you know. Okay, enough of that for now, though. Okay, so back to this. We know that this works, so I really just need to finish this up for all of the different classes now. So that's Duke and Duchess, Archbishop, Priest, and then a bunch of Commonwealths here. So there's Farmer, Tailor, Smith. Trying to remember all of them and failing. Hello, Nozzle, welcome to the stream. Here, I'm gonna go based off of... Yeah, hi. Carpenter and Cook. Shepherd. Leatherworker and Architect. I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I thought I had more Commonwealth professions in the game. I didn't know that it was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, I guess 9 is still a decent amount, given that the game is still quote-unquote beta. It's not terrible. Okay. So that's all the badges set up. I mean, we don't have all of the badges themselves set up. This is just all the same 2 badges. But that's fine. I'm going to do that off camera since I can only make 5 badges every 24 hours. And we've already used 2. How long do I think I'm going to keep the game updated? That's a hard question to answer. I have enough content ideas probably to keep the game going easily for another year or 2. But the problem lies in the game's success. As much as I would love to just develop this for fun, I am 22 now, and I am getting along in my life, and I need to start doing things that have merit to them. Because I still do not make like a living wage from my games at all. So if I can't start doing that, I am not going to be able to keep working on this forever. So it just depends. I'm hoping within the next few updates I'll be able to get the game back up and hopefully to like 100 CCU minimum. That's like the goal right now, is to be able to naturally regain triple-digit CCU and then go from there. And keep it. Because we got it back in like June and July, but due to me not being ready and there not being much for anti-cheat or anti-griefing measures, the game kind of died off slowly because I had to spend a lot of time just refining the game a bit and not adding new content, and that caused the game to die a little bit. So yeah, I'm currently employed. I do have like a job that I do outside of Roblox. That's currently what takes up most of my time, honestly, because if I didn't have that job, I could probably finish most of the updates that I do within like 2 weeks. It's just that job, I get like a regular 9,000 steps or more from my job because it's a serving position. So I deal with a lot of people, and I do a lot of walking, and I do a lot of lifting of plates and other semi-heavy stuff. I mean, not super heavy, but you get the idea. It's taxing. So that's why sometimes it takes me a while to get some updates done. 4 days of working on this? What? No. Yeah, no. I made this game in February, and within like 2 weeks, I had it at the base working level. But then around like later March, I took a break and stopped working on it to focus on my other game for a while. But then when like the beginning of June rolled around, I wanted to get this game and start focusing on it again and hopefully get it bigger. And so I did. And by like June 28th or so, the game reached 10,000 visits, and that's when it kind of blew up into the recommended, and that's why it's now got 412,000. You found it around April. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really reaching new people at that point, but anyways. You want to get into Lua. What I always tell everybody when they want to learn coding, specifically, I started from Alvin Blocks because he explained things very well to me. Specifically, I started with... give me a minute. I started with this scripting tutorial series right here. It's 6 years old, so it's maybe not the best one anymore, but it taught me the basics. It's just all these white ones. And then whenever I didn't understand anything, I would use the developer API, which you can enter by going from here to create, and then I think it's learn. Yeah, you go to learn, and then create.roblox.com/docs. Thank you, MaxiBoy, for following. Then from here, if there's anything you don't understand, you just read. I promise you can understand it. Just read. Hello, Sergio. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for following. Because like me, I had a problem of reading all of the text and trying to understand it all at once, which is not what you need to do. You need to break it down. Yeah, you need to break it down and understand it. Like, for instance, if you want to learn about tweening, which is how you move things, like animate basic movement stuff. So like sliding one GUI to another part of the screen. Stuff like that. Thank you, Liminal, for following. Then you look up tween, and you can see there's tween and tween service. Tween service is the overall service that you use, and you can use this to learn all of the things that you want to use about it. Yeah. And I am not joking when I say this. Thank you, Logan, for following, which is weird because that's also my name. Hi. If there's anything you do not understand, I am not joking you. Literally just go to Google, look up Roblox, and then whatever problem you're having. So like Roblox, tween, not working. And then literally anything that says dev forum. Like obviously this is very general because I looked up a very general problem. But like this, I promise you, if you just look up Roblox, and then if it's like an error in the code that prints down here, like index nil with destroy, if you come here, type Roblox index nil with destroy, you will find a dev forum article that will help you. I am not joking you. The amount of things on the dev, like the amount of things I have learned from literally just looking it up on Google and finding a dev forum article, that is how I got through 90% of my issues. And I mean that so seriously. But anyways. Yeah, Alvin Blocks worded things in a in a very understandable way for me, in my opinion. Is there anything I want to add to FS, but I don't have the skill? That's a difficult question, because if there's anything I don't have the skill for, it's something I want to learn how to do. For example, hostile mobs. Those would be really cool. I just kind of suck at AI. I can do them, but it would be a bit of a time sink, and I feel like it's not worth the effort right now, which is why I haven't done anything super crazy yet. Honestly, I don't think there's anything that I can't do right now. What is the hardest thing I coded in FS? Okay, this is just going to end up turning into a fucking interview stream. I'm never going to get the badges done. Okay, in regards to coding, what's the hardest thing I coded? That is a question. The building system was very difficult. I mean, it was less difficult and more so just all the checks needed took like a brain-hurting amount of time to develop. Because, like, for example, for the buildings, let me find those. For the building placement system, like as a Duke, whenever you place the thing and you like solidify the selection, it first does a check in the center of the building down to see if there's ground there. And if there is ground, then it does 4 more ray casts on each corner of the central like part here. It does 4 more ray casts on each corner to ensure that every corner is on the ground, or at least really close to the ground. And if all of those are true, then it moves on to hitboxes. And the hitboxes check to see if it's colliding with anything else. And if it isn't, then it places. So it's a bunch of steps to check everything. Other than that, the cutscene, it wasn't difficult, but it was really tedious to make, the cutscene for destroying the rock wall here. It was really tedious trying to figure out how to effectively create a copy of the player. But I managed to get that done, so that's all good as well. Some of the spells were a little difficult, but yeah. Nothing too crazy. When I tell you Founding Stones is the easiest game to code and develop, I am not joking. It is so easy. Alright, let me catch up on chat real quick. Hang on. Would I ever hire people? Very unlikely, because the game is just so easy to code. I kid you not, I do not need the extra manpower. But also, like Sniper says, I don't have the funds to hire people. And then also, yeah, Liminal said, even if Founding Stones were to blow up to the point of like even 1,000 people per day, like, you know, keeping a consistent 1,000 players, at best, that would be enough to sustain me, myself, and I, and nobody else. I do not make enough money from this game. I cannot express that enough. Do I plan to add any more biomes? Obviously. That's like the big threshold of content. I do not want to stop with just the desert and the safe zone, the safe expanse. It's just that adding a new biome is a huge undertaking, and usually I want to use it to signify like a turning point in the game, like whenever we have reached a certain landmark of development. So like I can't guarantee when the next one will be, but yeah, they are going to be like the content updates of the game, really. Why isn't there a tip on the sword? Because I didn't want to 3D model one. That's literally the only question. But that's the only answer. Is that I just did not want to like use Blender to model a sword. I just used wedges to model it. Yeah, he makes it the sword model. It's like a cleaver more than an actual sword. I don't know what a trapper hat is, so I can't say for sure. Okay, let me get back to work on this. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's do module dot mastery check is equal to function player. All right, now we do local. If not player, then return end. Return false end. Okay, it doesn't really matter, but just in case. Ushanka. Isn't that the thing that the thing that Chakra says in Silk Song? Ushanka. Sorry, it's stupid. Maybe. Like if I were to add a cold biome, I could see that. Yeah. Because the desert clothing was loosely inspired off of like turbans, kind of. I mean, I know it's mostly still a hood, but like the wrappings around the neck were kind of inspired by a turban, or like, you know, some of the desert wear that people wear out in the east. So it can be possible in the desert. No, it is not. The desert, like different areas have their own designated weather patterns. Yeah, you can see them all right here. And this is a thing that I was like talking about with testers, and I guarantee nobody has noticed it probably. There are shapes to the weathers, and that is largely what took most of the time for developing the weather system. Because there is line, gash, circle, and triangle. But yeah, like beach can do rain, mist, thunderstorm, and heatwave. Forests can have all of them. Plains can have all of them. But something like Mesa can only have sandstorm and heatwave. Stuff like that. I've never even seen a sandstorm, honestly. Proceed to disappear. Yeah, I was worried that all the particles from the weathers would lag the game a bit. But I think if you're on like if you're on a lower graphics level, it should be fine. So just basically turn down your graphics level a little bit when you're playing Pounding Stones if your PC can't handle it. Okay, let me get back to work on this. Local profession is equal to player.data.details.profession. Okay, now let's do local mastery goals is equal to an empty table, and then we'll do mastery goals dot let's see, what is it? Give me a minute, I'm thinking. Mastery goals, we'll do Duke/Duchess is equal to function player. Okay. And we'll just do ones like this. So Duke and Duchess is going to be a special one, so we're not going to do that. For now, we'll keep Taylor in mind. Then we do if mastery goals profession.value, then mastery goals profession.value with that player. Okay. So now, okay, this is code that I didn't learn how to format like this until very recently, actually. So I don't blame you for not understanding it. Basically, this is a bit of an advanced usage of tables. So mastery goals right here is actually just an empty table, which you use tables to store values, like strings, boolean, which is true or false, numbers, etc. But you can, oh yeah, and then like, let's say I were to do like this. Each spot in the table is indexed. So this would be 1, the number 1 with an index of 1. This would be number 2 with an index of 2. But if I were to change this to like 5, this would still be index 2, even though it's number 5. And so you can actually set special indexes. So you can do mastery goals, text, Scheisse, text. You can set that to yada yada. Now, This means that yada yadad will be put into mastery the index of text. Now, yes, I know that text is not a number. That's because indexes in tables, indexes in tables don't have to be numbers. They can be literally anything you want them to be. And then the value here can also kind of be whatever you want them to be. So, for example, what I'm doing here is I'm setting the index of the profession's name. So mastery goals, and then the profession name of Taylor, I'm setting that equal to a function, which a function is just like a stretch of code that you can run from anywhere else in the script. So basically, this gets the name of the profession that the player currently has. It checks this table to see if it has a set value under that profession as the index, and if it does, then it runs that function that it is set as. And so you can use empty tables like this as a hub for code to run based on different states of being, like Duke/Duchess or Taylor. I hope I explained that well. Yeah, it's a lot. It was a little confusing for me at first, but you can get the hang of it, I promise. Okay, so now, here's the problem. The problem is that for basic ones like Taylor here, their crafting tables are in the profession module right here. You can see this is every crafting table in the game. Basic, Taylor fabric, Taylor station, Taylor dye mixes, Taylor accessories, yada yada. The problem with this is in the profession module. Yes, actually, Cook has its own crafting table. But that is specifically, actually, just the cooking table. The flat top table is in here with apple juice, fruit bowl, the cold cooking station. The warm cooking station is down here somewhere. Yeah, right here. And that's because the way that it's handled is different. Anyways, because the profession module is already calling the badge module for this code, I cannot have the badge module call the profession module and get these different recipe tables. Meaning, I have to actually go in and put all of this down manually. So we're going to do local craft item, or Taylor Rex is equal to this. Likely ban evader. Well, that's funny. I'm gonna let that stay down like that. Yeah, account created 3 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't ban you. I do not believe you, brother. I assume that people in Founding Stones lore have like superhuman strength because the cook can somehow shape food without a knife and the smith can mold cold iron bars into tools. Okay, it's more like a separation of realism, because I am not making the game hyper-realistic. That would be just boring, let's be real here. And the cook does have a knife, thank you very much. I think, at least. Hang on. Like, maybe not in the inventory, but in the thing, he's got a little knife here. In both tiers, even. He's got a little knife on the table. And then, what's it called? The blacksmith, I mean, it's still got the furnace here. This is just like its shaping table, like the equivalent of an anvil. What do you think a tier 3 restaurant would look like? I'm not going to tell you. You'll have to see when I make it. Okay. Hang on, I'm fucking around a little bit. Hang on. There we go. Ignore that. I got a ping. Okay. And yeah. Bye. Wow, these guys are just like supremely annoying. Oh, and Avery? Yeah. Get out of here, buddy. Wow. They are just being supremely annoying right now. Sorry. Bear with me, y'all. Some people just can't leave me alone for some reason. They're obsessed with me. Okay, what's up? What if I made it so the iron bars are just red hot until after like 30 seconds? I could, but like once again, it's kind of just, there's no reason to. It's a, like, it's a nothing burger of content addition to a degree. Okay, so now I need to go into the data here, and we are going to add a new thing here into the save data, actually. And we're gonna do badge mastery progress. What if you wanted to hold molten iron in your hands? Yeah, and yeah, even the smith does also have a quenching station. Alright, and so in the mastery progress, we're going to actually do a whole other thing here. We're going to go ahead and actually make the data saving. So, let's do a local mastery progress is equal to an empty table. And then we do for IV in pairs data dot save data dot mastery progress get children do, and then we'll do local sorry, give me a second. Table is equal to, or progress table is equal to this, and then we'll do name is equal to the dot name, and then progress is equal to an empty table, and then we do for index value in pairs v get children do, and it was using every single game script. I would actually be truly literally though, because it has to go at the end of every single function or if statement or for loop or while loop or any other like specific thing that you do like that. Okay, so this loops over all the professions, and this loops over the requirements of each profession. Okay. Is class name a thing? Can I see that? Yes. Okay. So we'll do value class is equal to the dot class name, and then the progress. All right, and then we'll do oh wait, no. That needs to be its own thing. So we'll put that in the table here. Local value data is equal to Bear with me here. Name or rec name is equal to value.name. Rec val is equal to value.value. And then rec class is equal to value.class name. Okay. It's a bit of a headache, but it's fine. And now we do mastery. Mastery is equal to mastery progress. Okay. Got a gambling ad. Okay. So, to explain what I'm doing here, I'm creating a table that will contain all of the progress that you have made for every single profession. Right now, it is empty because we have no base progress. I got a forced hour-long ad. Could you imagine? 4 ads. Oh no, the ads are coming. You poor souls. Okay. Yeah. So, whenever we have a new folder, which every folder is going to be set up like a... It's going to be set up based on profession. So, like, for example, we'll have profession. We'll have another folder in mastery progress. For this one, for this example, we'll say it's Taylor. You got 5 ads. Okay. Liminal, here's the thing. I literally cannot help you with that. Like, I can only control the frequency of I can only control the frequency of how often the ads show up. I cannot control how many they show. There's nothing I can do about that. I don't even know if he can hear me right now. He might still be stuck in ad hell. Are you good, Liminal? You're back now? Okay. Yeah, literally there's nothing I can do about that, but I guess, you know, if it's any consolation, I got 5 cents from that. I get 1 cent per ad that you view. Fun fact. That's my monetization. I get 1 cent per ad. That's not even minimum wage, brother. I'm not getting a full $1 per stream. That's why streamers push like Twitch subs, like Prime subs, Twitch subs, and bit donations so much. It's because literally they're the only like substantial thing. I think each bit is also 1 cent, so 100 bits is $1. And then next year you get a hug, and then Twitch subs and Prime subs, at least like the lowest tier is I think like $2.99 or something. So like between $2 and $3 per sub. Though I don't know how much revenue one gets from like a higher tier sub, because I know there's like 3 tiers, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, for example, this is an example of how the thing will look. So we'll have like a bool value here for, say, what is it? Like let's say we make a shade shirt. So Boolean. It sounds weird, but Boolean just means true or false. That's what it means. It's a true or false value. Sometimes shortened to bool. So this is what the folder is going to look like. And basically, it takes the name of the folder, and then it makes another table. It stores the name of the folder, and then it creates another table inside this table, which is inside this table. And this will store all of the values and the data. And so then we go through all of the children of this folder, and we get the name of the thing itself. We get the value that it's storing, which is true or false, which means if we have gotten it or not. And then the required, like the class of the thing. So in this case, a bool value. Did we get the podcast building? I used to do building streams. Progress, or no. Table.insert progress table progress with value data. Okay. And then at the very end here, we do table.insert mastery progress with progress table. And that should store it in a data format that the data stores of Roblox can understand. Because it's a very, you know how all coding essentially boils down to binary, zeros and ones. In order to store data in data stores, you have to turn them all into values that the data store can understand. You can't use like folders and instances. And so it's a bunch of tables, strings, numbers, and trues and falses. Yada yada. It literally crawls out of your screen. I don't know what to tell you, brother. Okay, so that should save that. Now, in player added, we need to go into here, and then we do for IV in pairs, data.mastery progress. Do. And I need to put that in an if statement, if data.mastery, or no, it's just mastery. Not mastery progress, that's the name of the thing. There we go. Then, there we go. And then this will handle for mastery badge distribution. So you guys know games like Rogue Lineage or Deepoken, games that like have progression based on doing certain steps and stuff. This is probably more or less how they do it. They have like a set of prerequisites and conditions that need to be met, and they use code to store them like this. So we do this, and then we do local mastery folder is equal to instance.new folder. And we do mastery folder.name is equal to v name, and then mastery folder.parent is equal to data folder.save data.mastery progress. Okay. So this is accessing the first layer of the folder, which is this, and then accessing the name inside of that thing. Yes, accessing the name in there to set the name. And then we do for index value in pairs, arm the progress. And I will rename this actually. So this will be conditions table. And instead of V here, we'll do profession table. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but there is a ice cream truck coming by. And yes, you can just put spawn function, and that will... Where did I put that? Right here. Yeah, that'll just completely skip this and go down to the rest of this while also running this at the same time. So yes, you can do that. Get me some ice cream. Okay, I would, but I don't think they're stopping at my apartments, so it's whatever. I want ice cream. I do have cash, so I could get some, but once again, I don't think he's stopping by. I think they went by the street that's outside my window. Happy early birthday. Basically working on data stores right now. So, this is the conditions table, which will be all of the instances inside this Taylor folder here. So now we do progress. So this will be this layer of table, value data here. So we'll do local rec val is equal to instance.new conditions table class, or no, rec class. And so that should create a new instance based on that class name. So like a bool value or a number value or yada yada. And then we'll do recval.name is equal to conditions table rec name. Recval.value is equal to conditions table rec value, or recval. And then we'll do recval.parent is equal to mastery folder. And we'll actually put this at the bottom. Loads all of the requirement progress. Okay, here we go. Add ice cream to cook station. No, there is no ice cream in the cook station. There is, however, give me a second and I can tell you. There's apple juice, fruit bowls, beachside chill, which is like a drink. It's like a cocktail almost. A mocktail because it doesn't have any alcohol in it. It has coconuts, glass, berries, and prickly pears in it. Thank you very much. It's a very tropical drink. And then there is a charcuterie board. And then the cooking station itself, there's nothing too crazy. Cooked fish, fish skewer, cooked meat, meat stew, steak, roasted apple, bread, cheesy pasta, jam toast, fish sandwich, meat sandwich, cheese, and pasteurized milk. A hunting building. I don't see hunting having enough reason to exist, like as a profession. People can do that themselves. Okay, let's see. So yeah, there's nothing too crazy. I do feel a little bad though, because one thing I've noticed while playing the game is a lot of cooks don't actually get to do all of these crazy recipes. Like, I don't see many cooks that actually make, like, for example, cheesy pasta, or meat stew, or cheese even, because shepherds aren't all that common. And so, like, I mostly just see them making cooked meat and steak, and roasted apples, and, like, the really basic foods, because everybody's always just so hungry that they can't ever amass enough resources to make the really good foods. Because nobody's patient. Okay, what was I doing? I was working on, yeah, this. So this should load all the data and stuff. All nice and good. Info table. We're gonna toss an info table in here as well. Just to be safe. And what the info table is going to have is contexts. Is equal to addition, or no, progress, then else if info table context is equal to check, then. Okay, and so we're going to code the check here first, because it's the easier thing to do. Taylor Rex, so we're going to do, to code these custom. So just do that. Actually, we're going to add in a whole extra thing up here, and we're going to name it local basic item or crafting Rex is equal to this, and then we'll do Taylor as one of these instead of Taylor Rex like that. Okay. There we go. Oh my god, there's so many things here. What is all this? Could be used for hire a private chef I have to do. Make it so only nobles can eat all the good food. They seize up and die otherwise. Have any plans for Christmas? I don't know. I mean, being honest, like being brutally honest here, most of the Halloween, like basically all of the Halloween stuff happened and was like came up with in like a week or two. Like I originally was not going to do a Halloween event. The update was originally basically just going to be weather and the merchant hall and the other few small things that I added. It was just as I was coming towards the end of the update cycle, like a week or two ago, I was thinking, you know, it would be cool to do a Halloween event, especially since I don't have the time to do the Halloween event for Steam this year. And so I started thinking about it, and then I was thinking, wait, what if I added the dead body system that I was planning on adding? Alongside some other stuff, and I use this as a opportunity to add in like a Halloween merchant, and stuff like that. That would be cool, wouldn't it? And so that is what I did. We took a while to, yeah, Nyax Merchant is a temporary thing. I like the cloak too. The only problem is that the cloak also stops you from wearing like backpacks and stuff, which is intentional. It's a balancing mechanic. Because the cloak also, I think it increases walk speed, which is one of the few things that does that. And then I think it also lowers temperature a bit. Maybe something else. I can't remember. Yeah, shoes and cloak are the best way to get speed at the moment. And honestly, the thing with Nyack Merchant is that the items that he sells were not originally meant to be, like, game-changing. I was gonna make the invisibility potion a, like, full invisibility, but then I realized that exploiters could probably take advantage of that, even if it does cost as much as it does. And so I, you know, removed it. Or I did the thing. Hello, I'm just gonna call you Snaff. Welcome to the stream. Yes, they can use the fast ability on themselves. In an update, like an update or two ago, I made it so that way certain spells, if you cast them and they don't hit anybody, they apply to yourself. It's very nice because it makes it very easy to get around. That's why I like playing Water Priest. Anyways, Snaff, I am in the middle of things, so I can't, like, text, or I can't, like, show it off a whole bunch, but this is my game Founding Stones. It is, like, a city civilization. It's a little dead, but it's got players. I'm not gonna, like, stop and play the game for super long, but I'll show you, like, the cities. So, for example, this is a city. Most of this is placed by the players. So there's a duke that can take ownership of this city. This is like the base stuff that spawns with the city. And they can place buildings and stuff like this and building projects. And then they, like, everybody works together to build the buildings. And just do stuff. So, like, these are paths that were created by the players, which increase walk speed as you walk on them. All these items were created by players. Yada yada. There's even religions, like this Revion sect of healing, which was named and founded by the players, and then they took ownership of this church to do stuff. Do the buildings have a purpose? Yes. This is the architect hall, which is used to become the architect profession, which is helpful for building. Yes, I do remember you. Is for building, like helping with building out around the city. This is the blacksmith, which is useful for becoming a smith and crafting iron tools and metal stuff. This is a tailor, which is useful for making clothing and other fabric-based items, etc., etc. This is leather worker shop, farmhouse, guardhouse over there, carpenter, yada yada. There's ghosts, zombies, spells, magic, all sorts of stuff. It really is kind of like, I mean, I don't want to like sound like I am, playing up my ego a bunch, but it really kind of is like a Minecraft of Roblox to a degree, except you don't have to, there's not as much freedom because obviously making that much freedom would be absurd. But it's a fantasy medieval city civilization simulator. But I definitely advise only sitting down to play it if you have time, because it's a game that you want to invest time into. Like at least an hour of playing, so that way you can have some fun. Anyways, back to coding. Yeah, it's a very long form game. Like if you've played The Conquerors 3, that would work. Conquerors 3 is like a good comparison because you take a lot of time to build yourself up in that kind of game. Now, there is no permanent saving in the game. I am aware. That is what we are working to fix right now. That's why we're working on a badge system. Okay, so now we do tailor. So we're going to add some basic items into this. We're going to do... where is it? Right here. We're going to scroll up to the tailor crafting stations. What do the badges do for you? Nothing. I mean, the mastery badges will display like a plaque in your building when you claim a building, but it's just going to be like visuals. It's not going to really impact the game any, because I don't want to add things that give an unfair advantage. Tunic, pants, bag, and lead. Tunic, pants, bag, lead. Now, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this with basically everything. Bandage, sun hood, shade shirt, and shade pants. Bandage, sun hood, shade shirt, shade pants. Bear with me, because once again, I'm going to have to do this with literally every single thing. All the different dyes. Red dye, gray dye. What are the other ones? Blue, royal, and pink. Blue dye, royal dye, pink dye, let's see, orange, green, black, and gold. Orange, green, black, and gold. And yes, I do realize that I forgot the dye there. Okay. Continuing on, we now have sun hat. Wait. Oh yeah, sun hat is different. Sun hat, gold bracelet, and iron bracelet. Sun hat, gold bracelet, iron bracelet. And that is all of the requirements for tailor. So now we do 4IV, or no. We're going to make this a basic thing. Local function basic item check. Player profession. And then we do if not player or not profession, then return false end. If not basic crafting rex profession, then return false end. And then we do 4IV in pairs, basic crafting rex profession do. And now we do first we actually have to find the folder as well. So let's come to here. Local mastery folder is equal to player.data.save data.mastery progress find first child profession. If not that, or not mastery folder, then okay. Rather, let's do this here. Then we do... Actually, let's make another function. We're gonna layer this shit. Find mastery folder, player profession. Nil. And then we'll grab this and paste it here, and then we do if mastery folder, then return mastery folder. Else local new folder, or no, local, or no, mastery folder is equal to instance.new folder. Mastery folder.name is equal to profession. And then we do mastery folder.parent is equal to player data save data mastery progress, and then return mastery folder. And actually, let's go ahead and just put that at the bottom here. Do that, and then if not. There we go. Just a bit of coding optimization there. Let me catch up on chat. Will it work if you as if you have masteries in Taylor, you can make funny hats? No. It's not going to be anything like that. Is there a green dye? Yes, there is. You make it with cactus balls. Orange dye makes you look like a construction worker. Iron bracelet, that was just added this update. Yeah, and then bracelets got moved over to Taylor. Duke mastery. Of course, yeah, there is. See a rich person beat them to death with a colon of their body. What you do in Founding Stones is up to you. Okay, let me continue this. So that locates the folder for us. So now we're going to local mastery folder is equal to find mastery folder player Taylor. Okay. Okay, let's also do a special thing. If info table profession, then else put that in there. Put that in there. Grab this. Replace these with that, like that. Okay. There we go. Maybe notes on the script only you can access. Okay, the thing is, coding can be really exhausting to read. Yeah, and sometimes I might forget how things work exactly. And so I comment things to keep track of what I do. That's why a lot of these stations have like comments on exactly what they are meant to do. Or like what certain types of past values are. Yeah. Because like sometimes it'll be a function, like for example, info table. If I didn't name it info table, I might not know that that is supposed to be a table instead of like a string or something. And so it's there to help keep track of things. Will I ever at bees? No guarantee. That would be a bit of a difficult thing, I think. All right, now let's do general check is equal to basic item check player Taylor. For basic checks of crafting one of every item. Okay, there we go. So let's do local as it is equal to true. Okay, there we go. Now I need to go into here. That's that, and then we do find a mastery folder, and we'll put this up into here. Okay, and then we do if mastery folder find first child B, then, or no, if not local has them all as equal to true, and then we'll do has them all as equal to false, and then we return has them all. So basically, this will locate the table of all items that need to be crafted for that profession. It loops over every single name, sees if it has been crafted and is put into the folder, and if it is, and all of them are crafted, then it returns true. Otherwise, it sees that it is not in there, and so it returns false, meaning that it is not done, meaning you should not get the mastery. Now, I have no idea how to test this. This is going to be a very tedious thing to test. Ugh. But it's fine. You know, actually, I can make it a bit easier on myself. Let me copy this. Copy this. And instead, we're going to get rid of everything except for tunic. And then we're going to comment out that entire table there. And we'll use that as the base testing point. Progress. Okay, now we'll do mastery goals. If progress done, then all mastery progress checks are complete. Give the mastery badge. Okay. I mean, okay, listen, Banana, that's like +3 walk speed. It's not anything massive, I promise you. I mean, like, Essence Soak is a lot of extra walk speed, obviously, but like the shoe and cloak combo is only like 3 or 4 walk speed. It's not going to be that big of a difference. Now, if you were to do it while walking on a path, that would be an extra distance, or that would be a lot more as well, because that's an extra 4 walk speed, or an extra 2 walk speed as well, I don't remember. Basically, it is useful, so. Okay, so. Now, this should work. The thing is that the progress check is now going to make it very annoying in the printing thing. So I'm going to see if there's a way to actually prevent it from warning. Checks whether a player has the badge given the player user ID, and that whether a player owns a badge given their user ID and badge ID. Call the function from the server, a script or module script, blah, blah, blah. Looks like this should work. So now we do local as badge is equal to badge service. What is it again? user has badge async. Okay. Player.user ID. And now I need to actually locate the badge ID. So we'll do local badge ID is equal to profession badges, Taylor, mastery. There we go. And then we'll do badge ID. And if not has badge, then badge service award badge player.user ID badge ID. So that should work, I think. Bye-bye, banana. I have been talking for too long. I haven't streamed in a long while. And also my fan is off, which is weird. I usually have it on, so it's a little warm in my room. We might have to end the stream soon, but I have had a lot of fun. Despite the hiccups. And also despite me getting sidetracked constantly. Okay. Oh, dude, if I had $1 for every time I said badge, I would be... I would be able to live off of these streams. Am I going to post these streams to YouTube? If I remember. I have forgotten a couple times, but I do try to post all of my VODs to my VOD channel, so if I can, yes. If I remember. Which I'll probably just keep the tab open until it's ready for me to download. Might trim it down a little bit, we'll see. I won't do too much editing, so it's fine. Okay. It's pinged me 4 times. That's what the VODs upload channel is for. It's where I post all of my VOD stuff. Which, it's crazy that my VODs are finally getting views. They used to never, and I understand why. I'm not a very entertaining streamer. I know I'm not. That's why I'm kind of sticking to developer stuff more often, because it's kind of like more my speed, because I'm not a very high energy streamer. So like I have gaming stream VODs on there, but I don't react as crazy as other people do. I'm not like Speed or Markiplier or anything. Yeah, I interact with you guys and I explain what I'm doing while I'm developing sometimes. And then like, so I mean, I imagine that there might be some people who listen because they like my voice. I don't know. I've been told that I have a good voice for like narration and stuff, so at the very least, hopefully you guys don't get too tired of listening to me. But once again, I'm not a very high energy streamer, so my streams aren't ever really all that interesting to watch. Unless if you're already here actively interacting with me. Good background noise, exactly, because I never shut the fuck up. My voice isn't loud and annoying like that. That is my one... I would definitely say that I'm probably more like a vibe streamer. I don't get too loud most of the time. I do have some points in which I do get a little loud, especially with the soundboard, like channel point stuff that I have, but I myself, I don't usually get all that loud. It's born out of habit because we live in an apartment and the walls are really thin and kind of suck, and so if I get too loud, my dad hears me and he gets mad at me. I'm kidding. He points out that I'm getting too loud. And it was a bit of a... Dude. Okay. You see how I do if not player or not profession at the start of a function like this? Every time I start a function with if not, or yada yada, because I check every value here to make sure there is a value, so that way if it doesn't have a value, it doesn't error later down in the code, it just returns. The amount of times that I have put if not blank or blank, not including the not here, and then it returns and doesn't run the function because it has this value, which is what it's checking instead of if it's checking to not have the value, the amount of times I have done that, I get so angry about it every time I do it. Okay, anyways, local progress val is equal to instance.new sorry, I was trying to think of how I was going to do this. Local val or progress val types is equal to this, and then we'll do item craft is equal to bool value, I think, equal to info table progress context. And I actually need to wrap this with progress val types into there. Okay. And then we do progress val. Actually, let's rename that. Recval. Recval dot name is equal to info table. Progress name. Or no, we'll do prog name. Shorten it a little bit, make it a little bit less annoying to view. Recval dot value is equal to info table prog val. Adds the given content of or progress of interest to the table. Then we do recval dot parent is equal to mastery folder. Getting loud after search. Even the script looks my English class nightmare. You can still enjoy this stream. Coding is, once again, like, even for me, it can be very draining to read and a bit draining to code, but I promise you it is not as complex as it looks. It's literally just like broken English. Now granted, when you get into layered stuff like this, it gets really annoying to process, which is why I keep so many comments in my code. It's because all of these nondescript values like info table, progress val types, mastery folder, rec val, all of these are very exhausting to like look into the code and figure out what it's supposed to be. It really kind of is. So this progress should now run. Now, all of this was so that way we could come to here, close out all of this, find the crafting tables, open crafter, craft item. And we want to come to here. And now we want to do crafter type. So that is that. Now we do if not if crafter type is not equal to basic crafter, then don't forget insomnia. Yeah, and bad sleep schedules. Then badge modules dot mastery check player, and now we need an info table. Local info table is equal to this, and we'll. What all do we need for this? Info table has optional context, progress context. We'll name it prog context just to be safe. Okay. There we go. Prog context, prog name, prog val, and I think that's everything I need for this. Right? Yeah. So this is going to be based in the progress. So we're going to do context is equal to progress. prog name is equal to item name. Prog context is equal to, what is prog context? Item craft, that's it. Item craft. Let me actually put that up here, like that. And then prog val is equal to true. Which is not really necessary, but like it's simple, so it's whatever. Now the annoying thing, should I add an extra check for that? I probably should. I probably should, because that could be really annoying otherwise. But I don't want to. Sorry. Basically, what I'm thinking right now is, I'm thinking if I should add an extra function to add an extra check to make sure that it doesn't add meaningless data to this. Yeah, I'll do it. God damn it. I just don't want to. I really don't want to, but it's whatever. Let me move this up to here. It's fine. It won't take too long. Local function handle progress player info table and mastery folder. Okay. So now instead of doing this, we do handle progress player info table mastery folder. And now we do if info table prog context is equal to what is it? Item craft, then for crafting basic items. Okay. We will do local prog val is equal to mastery folder, find first child, info table, prog name. If not prog val, then grab this, paste it into here, and we'll just turn this into prog val. Like that. If they don't have it marked. Ta-da! Okay. Simple enough. God. Okay, so to explain what I'm doing here, I have added an extra function which will allow me to add special checks for every type of context. So for example, this is based on the crafting of items, which means, for example, in the event that you craft an item, it would create a store that you have crafted that item here. And if that's the case, then it checks this specific thing. It checks to see if you already have a copy of that listed. If you don't, then it'll create it for you, which is the goal here. Can you run playtests while my game is private so the Roblox algorithm doesn't bother with it yet? Yeah, you can. Oh, I mean, it depends on what you mean by playtests, because that's a very broad term. Like, you can be in the studio here and just click this button up here. You can't see it because of the stream overlay, but there's a button up here where you can click it and join the game in studio, which I don't even think counts to the visit count even. Yeah, and then if the game is private, you can still play it. Other people can't. But other than that, it is a bit difficult to play test effectively if you have a lot of people. Now, here's the thing. I don't think you'll have to worry about the Roblox algorithm, because in my experience, none of my games have done good. Like, they haven't reached the algorithm until they've reached 10,000 visits. So unless your game is already really close to reaching 10,000 visits, you should be good. Because both Founding Stones and Steam got all of their visits and like people joining and getting put on the algorithm and all that. They only got that after reaching 10,000 visits, both of them. And that is not an exaggeration. Holy shit, we have 40 people playing right now. That is a 31 player server. Oh my god. Now is the time to Founding Stones, everybody. Holy shit. And honestly, Founding Stones animations are not that difficult. They really aren't. Hang on, I'm going to turn off my screen for a second. How do I do that again? Right here. Sorry, don't want to spoil anything. There we go. Ta-da. Okay. I was pulling out my dev base plate right here. None of the animations were all that crazy. I've got them all stored right here. If I open up a Moon Animator. It's like we've got the NPC idle animations that I've been making lately. Or for the Nyack settlement. Nothing too crazy. Here's all the dead poses. I made 7 dead poses, I think. Yeah. There's just a bunch of them. And yes, one of them is the Family Guy death pose. There's the zombie arising animation, the town crier. This one is funny because it's literally like, it's meant to be played on the thing, so it kind of looks like nonsense. Or it looks like he's crazy here. He's just walking on thin air, even though his humanoid root part is all the way over here. And that's the town crier idol, sleeping, merchants, and then Old Duke. Then you've got a bunch of other ones here, like the zombie attacks and spells, swinging of weapons and tools and other shit. Yeah, here's Essence Soak, actually. Or no, this is Consume Condense. This is Essence Soak. Chill Obelisk. Wow, these are all casted very similarly, I realize. Hammer, Knife Swings, Earthly Propel, Lead Arrest, Devour, Rod Idols, Casting the Rod, Magic Downcast, Earthlight, and then just some of the basic stuff like drinking and eating. None of them really took all that long. Yeah, Hammer. If you're an architect and you use Hammer, you can repair buildings. Yeah. Oh, hi, Turtle. I didn't even know you were watching. I've explained it once or twice already, so I feel bad for the people who might watch the VOD, because I'm just repeating things over and over again. Founding Stones is a medieval fantasy city civilization simulator. I know that's a lot of words. But yeah, honestly, the game speaks best for itself by just playing it. Hopping into the game for the third time this stream. Oh, there's a person with Eternal Blaze. That's cool. That's a tier 2 spell. Are they trying to kill somebody? Why do they just have that running at all times? What's the goal here? Wait, does Shade Clothing actually... Oh, Shade Clothing might negate Eternal Blaze's damage from heat. Oh, that's a thing to think about, because does this dude have... He has Sun Hat on. Okay, I don't know. Winter Rend... So yeah, this is the Founding Stone. That's where the name comes from. These are the cities that people can build. All of this was placed by players. So yeah, you should check out the game. We're trying to get the game bigger again. It used to have like up to 500 or even 600 people playing at once. But the game's kind of died out because it wasn't ready for that amount of players. So you guys should totally play it. Yeah. Okay, what was I gonna do? I was gonna do one more thing real quick. I hadn't done much like anti-cheat coding, so the game wasn't super secure, and there wasn't like rubber banding scripts and other things to prevent exploiters. And then there wasn't much planning around griefers. And so griefers had a lot more power than they used to, or than they do now. Like, they used to be able to basically kill entire cities by themselves because they could just like dance around buildings and stuff. And it made the game really not fun. And so I had to spend a week or two solely working on anti-cheat, and anti-griefing measures. And going that long without any content, the game started to die off slowly but surely, unfortunately. And now it just has the player base it has. So I was gonna do something. What was I gonna do? So that's something my game should have. Definitely. If you intend to get a bunch of players at once, you need to have a more stable game. You need to test and think about what players might do to harass other players and find remedies for that. Thank you, Luck, for following. Like, there are some games where player harassment and conflict is intended, like in Deep Woken, or yeah, other types of games like that. Founding Stones, its primary goal and like focus of the game is the city building aspect. There is like city wars and stuff, and obviously other violence from city civilization or simulation, but it was never intended for one player to be able to kill an entire city. And so I had to make adjustments, like, for example, Rock Club, which is the easiest weapon to obtain in the game because it is the only one that can be crafted by anybody. I had to make it so that way Rock Clubs deal 0 damage to buildings, and weapons deal reduced damage to buildings, so that way they can't kill buildings quite as quickly. Eventually. Not this weekend, that's for sure. I'm already pooped from this stream. Was there anything else I was going to do? I guess there's nothing left to do but test this, actually. So this should... adds the basic item to the thing, if eligible. Okay. If not progval. Actually, I need to do one more thing. And basic crafting recs. Mastery folder .name. Info table. Prog name. Marked, and it is eligible for the class progress. Then ta-da! Okay. So, nothing left to do but test, I guess. Let's see, we'll put some prints in here real quick. Print player, info table, print at Taylor. Yippee! Handling progress. Print checking. Print getting badge. Okay. Print creating value. Does the Lorax spawn? No, unfortunately not. Okay, so now with that done, I now need to go into here and make a local check table that's equal to this, and then context is equal to check. And I do not need anything else in this info table, I don't think. So badge models that mastery check player info table. Or no, check table. Okay. Yeah, so I don't need anything else there. Checks if they are eligible to receive mastery badge. Okay. And add hell. Alright, let's test. And if it works, then we'll end the stream because I've already been going for 2 hours and I'm starting to get a little bit tired. God dang it, I keep pressing my record button. Okay, let's see. So let me /toggle test /spawn rock. Let us create a tailor shop. Okay. And then /coin legend epsilon copper 6 /spawn shears. Let us become the thing. Spawn rock 3. Okay. Now let me open up the data, save data, spawn stick. We're going to test this out. Make sure that me crafting something doesn't do anything. Okay. Now I need to craft a tunic, which is 3 fabric. Spawn fabric 3. Okay. Now if I come to here, go and find tunic and craft. So I have it here now, but I do not have anything in there, meaning that something messed up. Okay, so something happened with the basic item check that messed it up. All right. Well, now we can also test the saving, I guess. So if I come into here, leave the game, and we'll see. It saved. So now let me go to here. Let's go up to basic item check. And we'll do print does not have, and then v basic crafting recs, tailor, if not mastery folder, basic crafting recs, this, print player, profession. Okay. Let's see. So I load in, and I should have the save data. Yep, I have the tailor folder, but I do not have any progress in it. So /toggle test /spawn rock. You guys get to see what I have to do every time I test anything relating to a profession. I have to do all of this every single time. /prop legend epsilon tailor spawn shears spawn fabric 3. Let's craft this tunic. Does not have tunic. Oh, right, because it's not, it hasn't created it for some reason. Why is that? Why does it not create the tailor? Progval. Handling progress. Handle progress. Okay, so here's the problem here. It's somewhere in this function here. Okay. It's more like I type a lot, so it's not a huge like thing for me. Okay, so now I need to go to here. Print. Print info table. We here, gang. And then also this long ass thing. Maybe we'll also do print mastery folder .name and info table. Well, no, the info table's already printed, so we don't need that. Okay. So something is stopping it from reaching here, which is what we are looking for. So let's take a look. This is the thing that is important with testing. Using print commands. They will help you find all of your problems. Spawn rock. Bubble test. I cannot tell you how many times I have typed these commands. Spawn shears, spawn 3. Epsilon. Taylor. Take that. Grab this. Tunic. Go. Alright. So, where is it messing up? We here, gang, and nil. And that's because right here it is printing out this. So this is returning nil for some reason. Even though that is returning Taylor. Basic crafting. Taylor. Bruh. Oh, I see why. Okay. That's fine. I know why. Now this is a table semantics thing. Tables like being referred to in specific ways. This is to find the index of tunic, not the value of tunic. So instead of this, I need to be doing table.find basic crafting rex mastery folder.name, and then I need to be doing info table prog name. And so this is searching for the value of tunic, not the index of tunic. Once again, it's a semantics thing. It's important to the table and not really anybody else. So now it'll probably work. Okay, let me work on this. Rockland, very creative town name. Spawn rock. Yeah, whatever. Tailor shop, put there. Spawn, shears, spawn, fabric 3, broth, legend. Epsilon. God, I can really feel my fatigue catching up. Tunic. Okay, well it made it. It's just that the badge isn't there. It's not enabled right now. I forgot about that. So let's see. Save data. Mastery progress. Look at that, it's in there. Okay, so now if I were to do spawn fabric 3, let's just equip that tunic, because why not? And then if I were to go to here, 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 and Oh shit, the test badge is still on. Whoops. That's not supposed to be there. I really wish you could test this without having to enable them. That's really kind of annoying, but it's whatever. There we go. Now if I come over to here, go to Tunic. Ta-da! Mastery test. That's what we wanted. And now if I do another 3 fabric. It does make it there, obviously. But that prevents it from sending the yield, the yellow text. Good, good, good. Okay. So, they work. Release the game. Did I not have an update ready to release so you can chill or fix bugs in a bit? Well, the thing is that I never quote unquote released the game. For every game that I have made, well, most every game, namely Steam and Founding Stones, I actually just kept the game perpetually open and worked on it as I pleased. And so I never really did an official release for the game. It just built up visits over time. So like, for example, hang on. Let me find some videos. For example, when the game had like even just this level of progress, I believe. I'm pretty sure even when it was just this, it was still technically playable. Now, I didn't give the link to anybody, so, you know, the chances of anybody finding it were practically nil, but yeah. You probably could have played Founding Stones back when it looked like this. And then the game just ended up slowly getting visits over time. I was showing that the axe doesn't work on the rock in the video. I actually have a bunch of videos like these. I've got this one here, which was displaying the Duke panel. Because Duke was the first profession that I made. Because obviously you had to found your own cities. That was the first thing I made, was the ability to found your own cities. Though the naming tables were a lot less diverse. And there wasn't actually anything in the cities at the time, other than the Founding Stone. Well, that was for that one thing. The location, like the parts themselves, are based on a max resource count. And I hand set those for every part. So I gave that one like 50, even though it wasn't all that big. So it made a ton of trees. I also have this for like music test stuff. It was just me fucking around with these organic textures instruments, which were used for the basis of, I think maybe Zephyr Dancing had it? I know Verdentes does. Which, for those who do not know, yes, I did my own music for my game. I'm going to plug that real quick, because I think it's cool. I made 4 tracks for the game, though this one is not in-game. This is just a trailer piece, and honestly, I'm not that happy with it. But these 3 do play in games, and Respite actually plays specifically around cities. Okay, well that's an ad. Track is drilled into here. Yeah, this is probably a soundtrack that people hear a ton, just because, like, I wasn't joking. It is literally hard, like, coded into the game to have a chance to play if you're in a city. Now, I think it is like used in maybe one other location in the game, like in as a like location soundtrack, like Verdantis and Zephyr Dancing. But that's only temporary because I've only made 3 tracks because it takes me forever to make music tracks. But like Zephyr Dancing, that is primarily it was made to be a plains track and valley track. Meanwhile, Verdantis is the forest track. And so for this one is supposed to go into the forest side of the map. I'm honestly really proud with how these 3 turned out. I'm really happy with them. And yes, I will be showing off all 3 of them because I am very proud of them. We'll cut this one short, though, because it's the longest of the 3, I think. Zephyr Dancing is my personal favorite because it reminds me of Breath of the Wild. Tree sizes are also kind of randomized. I think it can be as small as like 0.75, where 1 is default size, and then up to 2. I like reading the comments to these. It seems like respite, however you say it. It seems like this one is for some reason like the favorite of the players. I really don't know why, because it's the shortest track. But it's got 755 views, while this one only has 310. I actually don't remember what the trailer sounded like. Shut up. Sorry. 66 comments. Literally a game about civilization. Respite has been drilled into your head. This trailer is so ass. Okay, to explain that liminal, hang on, let me get this back on. The time-lapse footage, that was like 2 hours long, and it was for an event. It was an event specifically for the thing, but like we didn't really have a second try for it, you know? Because it was 2 hours of recording to make that time lapse. I know it was foggy, and I know it was very dark at some points because it was going from day to night. But like, we literally had no second chances, which is why the camera kept zooming out, is because I kept having to move the camera bag because the city got bigger than I expected it was going to. So yeah, it was just very shoddy trailer. I would like to make another one someday, but not right now. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't think we need that anymore. But we tested it. Mastery badges and obtainment badges both work. So we are good to go, my gang. I'm going to end the stream because we have been going for 2.5 hours now. Thank you all for coming out to the stream. I'm glad that we had this many viewers when this is my first stream back in 2 months. I would like to continue streaming. I can't guarantee I'll be able to do it every weekend like I used to, but I'll do what I can. I can't guarantee I'll be doing more Founding Stones streams even, just because I don't want to give away the updates that I'm doing. But I do have another game over here called Infinity Dungeon. And I do think this could be a good one to stream. I think you guys might like this one. I'll show it real quick just as a little fun show. So Infinity Dungeon right now is very basic. It is a first-person game, or it's going to be. It's got like some special camera rotations there when you turn around and all that. And you get a weapon here. Very simple. You can see the hitboxes of your M1. You can hit things back and build up this bar here, which lets you M2 and do a special attack. Now, I will also admit, the knockback script here was literally, like, this script is what's used in Founding Stones. I literally copied it over 1-to-1 because I really did not care. But anyways, there is a run. It's going to be a very mobility-heavy game. And then there's a wall hold and wall jump. And the idea is that every weapon is going to have... I think it's like 2 passive abilities and 2 active abilities. And so this wall hold is called like a wall stab, and the idea is that your character stabs the sword into the wall and uses it as leverage against the wall to hold yourself there. And then when you let go of space, you use that foothold to jump up and gain some serious elevation. And so it's going to be a dungeon crawler. Yeah, obviously. It's going to be a dungeon crawler kind of platforming game, honestly. I mean, maybe not like a super heavy emphasis on the platform, but like I want the movement to feel good. And so this could be what we end up streaming in the future. We'll see. But yeah, I'm going to work on the badges off camera. I will see you all later, and I'll get the VOD out whenever I remember. So, bye-bye, everybody. Thank y'all for coming out.